Hey, it's Mark with Mark Patrick Hypnosis and Fit Over 50 Life. If you are struggling with motivation towards anything that you're looking to achieve, number one, I promise you, you're not alone. But in this video, I want to share with you what I learned a few years ago. When I first learned about it, it was literally like the light switch went on in my head, and I became incredibly motivated towards the things that I was looking to achieve. So I don't want to waste any time on this. I want to get right to this video. Please put everything you can aside. I promise you this, what you'll learn in this video, you'll be able to apply to your life right now and start getting motivation towards the things that you want to achieve. So let's get to the video.
So there are times in life when we feel lost or not motivated towards a certain area in our life. And when you are not motivated for something, it's actually a symptom, not a solution, getting more motivation towards something that you're looking to achieve. Meaning this, that if you are not motivated towards something, it's typically a feedback mechanism to teach you the thing that you want to achieve may not be in line with your unconscious structure of values, also known as your priorities. So, how does this all work? Our body is constantly creating signs and symptoms to make sure we are living authentically. And what happens is this, they are misinterpreted by modern medicine today, and they're seen as bad things, since we live in a world where, for the most part, we believe we should always feel good. So what happens is we suppress the symptoms of these things taking place, and knowing how to interpret these signs and symptoms can make a major impact on your life. So let me explain to you how this works. In this image of me, I'm holding what is called the image of a wheel of emotions in cognitive behavior therapy. They use this to diagnose, to treat people with underlying conditions and emotions that are struggling with, and it really is a very beneficial tool. I would welcome you to Google it. You could see all the different emotions on there, almost 300 different emotions on this wheel. There's one emotion that is not on this wheel, and it's something called motivation. Motivation is not one of them, because what happens is, as crazy as this may sound, and I do want you to stay with me on this, is that motivation is not actually a real emotion to our subconscious mind. It's confused with something else. So when we tell ourselves we're not motivated, it can mess with our narrative, create limiting beliefs. So I want you to stay with me on this. I'm going to teach you where we kind of get this wrong. But for simplicity, so that you hang in with me, I'm going to continue referring to it as motivation, because it's something we are used to hearing here. So we have in our life what I call an unconscious structure of values. And basically, values are our priorities in our lives. And our values are kind of like a ladder in our life. You have the top 3 or 4 steps of that ladder. The highest values, the lowest steps are the lowest values, or the lowest priorities in our life. Our values change from time to time, from age to age, from different things that take place in our life. So things that are higher up on that ladder, or higher values in your life, here's what takes place. You're internally, or what is called intrinsically, inspired to do them. So if family is really big and important to you right now, that's high on the list. Being a provider, working for that family, your religion is high on that priority list. Saving for your retirement so that you retire with some dignity and being wealthy. What happens is, these things that are higher on this ladder, higher on your values, what happens is nobody needs to motivate you to go out there and fulfill them. You can't wait to get out of bed in the morning to do them. When you complete them, you have even more energy. Now, let's flip the coin here, go down to the bottom half of the ladder. Things that fall below the top half, and you start getting lower and lower on that ladder. Health, maybe weight loss, friends. Once upon a time used to be a high value. Now you got a family, it's lower on the list. You want to do volunteer work, but you never get around to doing it. As you get lower on that structure, you start switching from being internally inspired to doing these things to needing external motivation to stay on track with them. And as you get lower, you start to look for systems to kind of keep you on track with these things. We're always looking for something to help us move forward. Some cases we do what is called a carrot and stick approach, reward and punishment. We look for systems, gimmicks, and sometimes even quick fix programs. But not only that, as it's lower on the list and you're trying to achieve these things, you tend to procrastinate on them, hesitate, frustrate them on them as you attempt to go out there and achieve these things. We also have what's called heightened awareness. For things that are high on our value list, we have attention surplus, retention surplus, intention surplus. Things that are low on the list, we forget about all the time. We have attention deficit, retention deficit. We'll learn something about it and we forget it minutes later because it goes into our short-term memory, not into the long-term memory. And we have intention deficit that takes place. Every one of us has a surplus or deficit in our life based on our highest and lowest values. If you set a goal that is aligned with your highest values, you have better order, better organization in your life, and you have the highest probability of achieving it. If you set goals that are lower in the values or the lowest values in your life, you basically have disorder towards those goals, disorganization, and in some cases you have chaos as you're trying to achieve these goals, and you also have the lowest probability of achieving it. So how do you identify what your unconscious values are? There's two ways to do it. Your life, number one, demonstrates this. You got to take a look around and you got to have a bird's eye approach. Analyze where you spend your time. Look at your bank account. See where you spend your money each and every month. You'll see consistently what you're spending your money on are the highest values in your life. What pictures do you have on social media? Whom do you follow on social media? What goals do you find right now that you've been setting that have been coming true in your life? Chances are those will show you the signs of what's really valuable in your life, not what you think is valuable in your life. And you'll see the same things over and over and over again, or the synonyms of those things over and over and over again. Second way you could do this is you got to listen to your conversations, your narrative, your self-talk, the conversations you have with yourself when nobody else is around. If you hear yourself using imperative language, I should be doing this, I ought to be doing that, I'm supposed to be doing this, I need to do that, I must do this, I have to do this, I'll try it, or I'll try and do it. Anytime you use imperative language, here's what you can be certain of 100%, that you're talking about the social idealisms, the influences of some external authority in your life, your mother, father, your preacher, teacher, some external authority in their voice in your head, and you think it's something that you need to go out there and do. When you start to hear yourself saying words like, I really desire to go out there and do that. I choose to do this. I love to do this. Then what happens is you're describing goals that are congruent with your highest values, and they are incredibly valued to you. And when you start using that type of language towards your goals, the chances are that those goals will go out there and be fulfilled.
Well, anyway, hopefully you got something out of that video you can apply to your life right now and start living a healthier lifestyle. In the meantime, I want to share with you a seminar I have coming up shortly called the Motivation Masterclass, and I really think it should be called the Mindset Masterclass, because after we teach the stuff that we teach in this seminar, it is literally like you have the proper mindset. And most people think when they start something new, they have the proper mindset, and usually what they have is this, is they have a positive attitude towards their goals, but they don't necessarily have the proper mindset, and what happens is they end up not following through on those goals. If that sounds like you, please do me a favor, take a moment, click on the link below, and check out the seminar we have coming up shortly. If you are interested, I suggest that you do not wait. We have limited resources we apply towards these seminars, so once those seats are filled, even though it's online, we're only going to limit it to so many people. Once again, thank you for watching this video. Hope to see you on the other side at our Motivation Masterclass, helping you achieve those goals and getting the motivation towards those goals that you so desire and so want. Thanks again.